something that I think they already figured out in the system all across the board, from judges to police to attorneys to you name the names, all of them, up to the president, up to all the authorities. This trial, there's a lot at stake with this trial. It's more than just a small squabble between Johnny and the police in the streets. There's more to it than that. I'm challenging the whole thing, and they know it. They really know it after the No Kings protest, especially. You know what I'm saying? By the way, there's a lot more people there than I thought. I thought there'd be like 100 people at the No Kings protest. I've never been to a No Kings protest. I'm like, there'll probably be 50, 100 people there. The same amount that were at the police protest, for Victor. No, there was like 1,000 people at the No Kings protest against all authority. They're way out of line, and I agree they are. There's a lot at stake with my trial. There is. They know it. Yep. I'm going against everything. The whole US of A, the whole US system, the whole thing. I'm going against it. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. And a lot of the USA people know it. That's why they're like, don't dismiss it. You take it all the way. And they might. I might take it all the way to sentencing till I'm in a jail cell again. We're going to take this far. As far as they want to take it, we'll take it. I don't have a choice anyways. I don't have the authority on the trial. I don't. At the beginning in the jail cell, I'm like, I don't want to be in a trial. That wouldn't work. They're the ones calling the shots when you're in the jail cell. Adam doesn't want a trial. Okay, it's dismissed. That doesn't work in the jail cell. No, we're playing by their rules. We're playing by their wicked rules. They have the authority on the trial, not Johnny. I'm just walking into a kangaroo court every time. Every time I'm walking into a kangaroo court. Even to this point, I'm like just walking into kangaroo court. Every time I see a judge, kangaroo court. Every time I'm in the courthouse, kangaroo court. Every time, doesn't matter what anybody says. So it's a kangaroo court all the way to the end, pretty much, until the jury says, the kangaroo jury says guilty. You know what I'm saying? Even though the evidence does show, if the camera footage isn't tampered with at all, like the police camera footage of them bullying me, if it's not tampered with on their end, it could set me free. It could. They were pretty extreme in my face. They were. I can't imagine anybody else like them bullying like some 12-year-old like they bullied me. I can't imagine. That 12-year-old would have cried so quick if they bullied a 12-year-old like they bullied me, the police. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a 12-year-old. I may act like a 12-year-old, but I ain't 12-year-old. So they went full force bullying me, like multiple cops at the same time. I'm like, whoa. I can't imagine anybody surviving that, and not walking away. I want to see how long they bullied me. You know what I'm saying? It was all set up until I'm like, I had enough. It was probably like 10 minutes they were bullying me. I'm not kidding. If their tape isn't tampered with, I think they bullied me for about 10 minutes or something. It felt like it. I'm like, I'm out of here. So, but legally, I wasn't supposed to walk away legally. But I wasn't supposed to be in that position in the first place. I didn't put my blinker on. I shouldn't have been. They demanded I get out of the car. I shouldn't have gotten out of the car. They should have just like to a normal citizen, license and registration. I would have just handed them license and registration, but I didn't get that. They're like, get out of your vehicle, hey, walk to the back. I shouldn't have been in that position in the back in the first place, where a ton of cops could gang up on me. That was the goal, for them to gang up on me while one searches my vehicle while they're ganged up on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm some kind of Wolverine that they can't handle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, but anyways, there's a lot more at stake. You know what I'm saying? There is. They know it. They know I'm dead serious. I'm not joking around. You mess with the wrong one on the streets. You mess with the wrong kid in his backyard shooting them. You mess with the wrong ones, you know what I'm saying? And God didn't defend us at all, so it's free game both ways. Both ways. They can do whatever they want, but we can do whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? That's the rules of the jungle. God doesn't step in an interaction like that. If God doesn't step in to defend either party, it's still free game. It's free game. If I went to jail, which I did, I sat in a jail cell. God did not stop that from happening. It's free game. You know, God's my only Father. He didn't step in he didn't. It's free game. He knows it. That's a rule. That's a rule. If God doesn't step in to stop or protect, if God doesn't step in, it's free game on either end. They do whatever they want. I do whatever I want. Until God says enough. Until God says enough. That's the rule. So, just playing by the rules. And I'm challenging all the way to God's authority. That's what this is really about. That's what this is really about. That's why the stakes are super high. I'm challenging God himself's authority. God. The God. Not the pretend gods. Not all the pretend gods out there. The real God. The nailed to the cross God. You know, the real one. That one. However you want to look at God. The God from the Bible. The God from Genesis. That God. I'm challenging him. And he knows it. Because he was in question. He was. So I went rogue. I left the X-Men team. I left being the battle axe. I left all that. I challenged God himself. I'm like, I'm questioning you right now, God. I'm questioning you. So the stakes are high with this trial because I'm challenging God himself. The Bible says all authority comes from God. All authority comes from God. I'll repeat that. All authority comes from God. So all these corrupt authorities on the ground that are bullying me, I'm like, that's not a very good representation of you, God. So I'm challenging it. So the stakes are high. They are. People don't realize, but people are starting to get it. This isn't some science experimentation. It isn't. It's full out war. It is. I'm using all warfare tactics. When I'm not even in the courtroom, I'm still doing warfare tactics. You know what I mean? The war doesn't stop because I'm outside of a courtroom. You know what I'm saying? So the real war, as a lot of you know, the real warfare is outside the courtroom, on the streets. It is. That's the real warfare. You know, in the backyard where kids are getting, But anyways, I'm running out of space. But there's a lot more at stake. There is. That's why this trial goes. There's a lot more at stake for everybody. Johnny is challenging the whole USA. He is. It's not a joke. I declared my independence on June 14th, 2025. Speaking of Independence Day, June 14th is when I declared my independence from the US of A. As long with thousands of others. It's not a joke. We're not joking around. No. So even if some people are going to the protest for kicks and giggles, some of us are not there for kicks and giggles. It's dead serious. Life or death. And that's all I'll say for this video. It's like we're trying to free ourselves from Britain